I was born again. They hung Christ like an ornament. To the lost sheep only he was sent. I ain't know who I was, so I had to repent. Why we in this condition? Cause we didn't follow and listen. You gotta be born again, and I'm on a mission. I don't wanna talk, pay attention, cause you in the midst of sin. I was born again.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse number 15.
Bring it out.
So like, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
See that, elder? So it said that if the Israelites wouldn't hearken to the Lord, that the curses would come upon them. You know what I'm saying? The Most High was going to put curses on the people for them not disobeying him, his commandments. So let's see some of the curses. Verse 16, I guess.
Verse number 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
So who would you say, what group of people would you say are cursed in the cities, elder?
Everybody.
Everybody? But who's going through the worst of conditions, though?
Maybe the young ones.
Who's on the bottom? Who's getting gunned down in the streets? Who's locked up in the jail?
I can't
That make up the majority of
the races, but sometimes.
Let's get the second part.
Sometimes it is, but.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Whoa. Can't dispute that one, elder. What about that one? Who would you say was cursed in the field? Was in the cotton field, picking cotton for master, sun up to sundown, getting their backs whipped off of them to the flesh bled. Who was that, elder? That was us, right? Right. All right. So let's get another curse. Let's get 37.
Verse number 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
Right. So let's say we will become a proverb. What's a proverb, elder? You know, proverb is what they like to say about us. All niggas love chicken. All niggas love to eat watermelon. All niggas love Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? That's a proverb. And a byword was, what's a byword? Us being called nigga, us being called Afro-American, African-American, black, porch monkeys, whatever they like to call us. That's an example of a proverb and a byword, right?
I kind of grew up with it. Not listening to it, but.
Is that it?
I ain't never.
Verse number 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
As swift as a what?
As the eagle flieth.
Right.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Right. So it said, as swift as a nation was going to be brought upon the Israelites for them disobeying the Lord, and it was going to be as swift as the eagle flieth. What that sound like to you?
Look, when the Israelites, I guess it was black people running through Egypt, all that. Did you hear it?
Listen.
I just said something. I ain't grew up knowing that black people was running like, see how you kicking it?
I get what you're saying.
Man, I'm learning about it.
Right.
It's so enough kicking it. If you don't learn everything when you're young, but you is really kicking it, you ain't saying nothing wrong. Lord have mercy.
Praise what's up?
It's a good thing.
It's some important knowledge. Our people gotta know this in these last days. You know? It's not for our hurt, but just for the upliftment of our nation. That's all it is. So let's get verse 68.
Like that.
Verse number 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
So Egypt just means, it's synonymous for bondage or slavery. You can prove that if you go to the book of Exodus 20:2. It says, or Exodus 13:3, it says that he's the Lord thy God that brought us out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. So slavery, so Egypt is synonymous with bondage. So we can replace the word Egypt with slavery. See how it sounds.
And the Lord shall bring thee into slavery again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen.
Shall be what?
Sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
That's right. So nobody gonna be able to save us out of that predicament. We had people like Martin Luther King try. We had Malcolm X. We had many various others, but nobody is able to buy us out of that condition of being in slavery until because we are disobedient to God. We not doing what did it say in the beginning? Since we didn't hearken to the commandments. So that's what we out here showing our people. We out here to get them back to keeping the commandments because we was chosen by the Lord to do that, to keep the commandments. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't choose the Lord. The Lord chose us to do that because we're His servants. So it's high time that we gotta come back to keep these commandments, Elder, because we are the servants of the Lord. Believe it. I get that in Leviticus real quick. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 55, I believe.
So we was the first black. Good Lord, I'm trying to understand, and you're bringing it to me. How can I better understand? Oh my God. It can't be no sweeter. Jesus Christ. That's the Bible or the other kind of Bible? I don't know.
KJV. That's what we typically read out of.
See what I'm saying? The Bible or the other kind of Bible. Right? Ain't nothing wrong with that. My man. I'm doing all right today. I ain't lying. I'm trying to realize. Well, if you don't know everything, it ain't even knowing everything.
Hey, brother, you can't smoke that right here.
Well, I'm ready to walk. I was listening. I ain't at this. No, I ain't like that. Getting ready.
Can't smoke that.
No, I'm just getting ready.
Can't smoke that. Can't get it ready.
20 and 26.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and verse 26.
Bring it out.
And ye shall be holy unto me.
All right.
For I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine.
So the Most High chose us to be separated from others, that we should be His, and being holy. It's a thankful thing, a great thing that you threw away the cigarette just now, Elder, because the Most High commanded before us that we have to choose life in these last days. Let's get that in Deuteronomy 30 and 19 real quick. Because the fact that you just hearken to the mighty brother that just asked you, that told you to throw it away, oh, he threw it out. You gotta throw that thing away, Elder, because we don't want to suffer sin upon you. You know what I'm saying? Because what's going to happen ultimately how you doing, brother? We out here showing our people that we the Israelites, brother. You gotta repent these last days, right? But
yeah, you doing something wrong. You're not. I ain't gonna lie.
But guess what though? What we out here to do, like I said, we showing our people, and that's showing love for our people. And if we don't warn you the damages and the effects of what smoking a cigarette can do, then I don't really love you if I don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. I do love you.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we out here to do, Elder. So
Thank you.
Lord willing, you can hearken to the Most High. Read this real quick.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse number 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
All right. So that's the only way we can live, Elder. We have to hearken to the words of the Lord, because without that we won't be able to live. We just dead bodies according to the Bible.
Is it good to do nothing wrong?
It's good to do nothing wrong. But what is wrong though? What is right? We gotta hearken to what the Lord says is wrong and right, not our own mind.
You know, when after you get 13, 14, ball game, you know they're gonna wear your parents before you got into anything. Your parents already gave it to you. So you do for wrong.
Yeah, because we was being taught by our parents, those that were fortunate to have both of their parents around.
More good knowledge. It's good.
Right, but what I'm saying
we
to you,
ain't doing that long.
Right, what I'm saying, Elder, is I'm agreeing with what you're saying, because you're right. We were taught by our parents. Those of us that had both, rather we had one, but we might not have were being taught the truth about what's going on from our parents. You know what I'm saying?
You're doing good. You ain't wrong, man.
The book of John, chapter 8 and verse 32.
Bring it out.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
See, that. We wasn't being taught the truth by our parents back in those days. Lord willing, all praise to the Most High, those that were fortunate, that were being brought up, that learned the truth, at a young age. But most of us wasn't being taught the truth that could set our minds free coming up. You know what I'm saying? We just now learning, whether we're a year in, 3 years, 5 years in, we just now learning what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good thing to do that and to know these things. But what is the truth though, Elder? What is the Most High's truth that we need to know and learn so that we can have retained life?
I think you already praised it. I think you're talking about it. Hopefully, somebody like me older, I might be older than y'all, I don't know, but you're saying it right now. I think, don't do nothing wrong, you're going to be all right. But you're saying it anyway. But I know the way I walk, you don't do nothing wrong, cuss and fuck. You ain't got to be in no Christianity, but just don't do nothing wrong. You gonna say it again? Look, go ahead. Crazy, he ready to say it.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding.
See that, Elder? So, regardless of what you're saying, I'm agreeing with most of it, but I'm still hearing, what you're saying, and I got to bring out certain scriptures where pertain to what I'm thinking you're saying. And you can't lean on your own understanding, Elder. You gotta trust in the Lord. What we think is right might not be right in the Lord's eyes.
You right.
You know what I mean? So it's time that you gotta come out of that mindset and start to think about what's right in the Lord's eyes, not our own eyes, Elder. And what's right in the Lord's eyes is what? Keeping the commandments. You gotta keep the commandments, because that's the only way you get life. And like I said, what is the truth though, Elder? Let's get that in Psalms 119.
I want to get the truth.
148.
I'm learning right now.
All praise to the Most High. And the Lord, the one that got you.
The Lord, the one that
got you up here, Elder. It ain't you that's doing it. The Lord got you up here.
Well, he ain't brought me past for me to not to listen to some youngins up here doing. I ain't know what y'all was doing.
That's her.
But then I listen to. So here's the thing. All of us is out there that black. I ain't know what you just said. I ain't know. We were so deep to be black. Egypt, all that. I didn't know until I started to learn it. Yeah. Other old people don't know, but I know. It's good to know.
That's right.
How much blackness.
Hey, brother.
It's just a word, but we that populated and deep like that, we can speak like y'all speak.
The book of Psalms, 119 and 148. Mine eyes prevent the night watches, that I might meditate in thy word.
That's not it. Not righteousness and never merciless and not
How you doing?
Verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
See that? So that's the truth. Psalms 119, verse 142. Thy righteousness is everlasting righteousness, thy law is the truth. So that's the truth that makes us free. That now that we know, you gotta start showing the youngsters. Now that you the elder, you gotta show them the truth now,
So,
elder. You know what
I
I'm
guess
saying?
being black, we are elder. I supposed to show.
Not being black, not to cut you off, Salah. Not being black, but being an Israelite now. Because remember, we just read Deuteronomy that it was the Israelites that got the curses that got brought over here on slave
See,
ship.
this is what I'm saying. Just learn a little bit. He gave me a little bit up. Because we was all in the land. Thank God Almighty.
Correct. Be Exodus 11 and 7.
How was I know that? Well, I could start thinking that more number of white people back in the Israelite days. Ain't nobody saying nothing.
It was definitely wasn't all white people. Nope, definitely wasn't white people back in those days. You You know what I'm saying?
See,
Straight-
that's the part
straight-
I love knowing about. But
straight
you
Israelites.
gave me a beautiful part. You giving me so much beautiful. Because if I knew, ain't like, oh, I knew, changed my life. But dang, I don't know about my past, my grandmother past. How, nothing.
Let's read this real quick for you, Elder.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 11 and verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
Right. So we was in captivity to the Egyptians. The Egyptians wasn't us. Just like how they try to say that we're all black. Since we're all black, we're all the same. But you know, the Chinese and the Japanese, they don't call they separate themselves. They look the same, they separate
Parts
themselves.
like us, just like we had parts. Chinese had parts like us too. They had it too. Same thing, but it's different. I don't know. I don't know. Us seem like to be greater than anybody had that kind of slavery in the land. Us seem to be more greater than anybody. Chinese, Mexican, anybody.
Deuteronomy 7:6.
Uh-oh.
That's right. Everything
You
you're saying.
you ready to break it up again?
That's
I
right.
love
You
this.
talking. Everything you're talking is in the Bible.
Well,
Elder.
everything I'm saying is I did not know. Ain't no way in crap I'm gonna know. I will say something what you saying.
I didn't know it first either.
Lord.
None of these brothers knew it first. But
Man,
now the Lord has called us. Now we have a requirement now to hearken to what He wants us to do and needs us to do. Right?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
See that? So the Most High has chosen us to be a special people above all people that are upon the face of the earth, Elder. Just like you just said, we above all people. We do everything better. Like who produces LeBron? Who produces the Jordans? Who produces the Giannis's, the Carmelos? Who produces these
That's
people?
nice. I mean, but
The so-called Negroes. The Most High produces them because we His chosen. And guess what, Elder? What was that? That was the Old Testament. But guess what it's saying in the New as well? Because you know how the churches, they like to say, oh, that was the old, that was the new. But guess what? It's saying the same thing in the New Testament too. 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9.
is
Saying
that
the same
old
thing in the
Bible,
New Testament.
New Bible? I don't know. Yes.
KJV, 1611. Most
KJ,
likely.
what that mean?
King James Version. King James Version.
I'm learning that.
You got different Bibles. You got NLTs. You got the newer ones that they make in different
See, I'm
translations.
learning what the NLT. What's NLT? Is it
New Living Translation. Certain things sound different than like what it may sound like in the.
But it's all the same.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Different, like a different language, but
Right. Good. You good. Yeah, it's saying the same thing in the old as it is in the old and in the new.
1 Peter 2 and verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation.
A what?
Holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should shew forth the praises and of him who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
Of him that have done what?
Called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
See that, Elder? The Most High called you out of darkness into His marvelous light. Proverbs chapter 20 and verse.
loud. I mean,
Man's goings are of the Lord.
oh my goodness. I like this that you did. You know, I used to hear about, like, you know how
Proverbs 20 and 24.
Jesus being black.
You said you used to hear about that? Well, praise the Most High, because we can bring out how that actually is in fact the
Well,
truth.
wait a minute. Well, don't let him
Yeah.
get his thing out.
Oh, praise.
Good Lord. That thing on.
Proverbs 20 and verse 24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way?
See that, elder? So guess what? We out here because the Lord got us out here. It's not our own. It's not what we want. We're not our own thoughts. The Lord commanded that we come out here. Guess what? We coming out here. You know what I'm saying? The Lord got you up here listening. Guess what, elder? Look what you're doing. You up here listening and asking questions and all types of stuff.
Understanding.
All praise to the Most High, right?
Understanding.
So the Most High said, he called you to be a peculiar people, a chosen people that's above all people, like you said, elder. And he said he brought you out of the darkness into what, elder? Into his what? Into his marvelous light, like it said in scripture. What is the light of the Lord? Matthew 5 and 16. The Most High calls you out of the darkness into his marvelous light, elder. It's time to consider what the Lord is saying in his Bible, man. He called you out of the darkness to his light. But what is his light? Because remember, you learn in the Esau school to do what? Read things in context. You know what I'm saying? You got to do the same thing when it comes to learning the knowledge of the Most High. You got to read the things in context. You know what I'm saying? The Bible say, read the Bible precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, elder. So look, let's read this for you. Matthew 5 and 16, get to what the light is.
Matthew 5 and 16. Let your light so shine before men.
Do what?
Let your light so shine before men.
What is the elder gonna, Lord willing, be doing, teaching the youngsters?
Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
All praise. Once again, it's saying.
That's right. I love that.
It's saying to Lord, learn your light.
Say something.
It's saying to Lord willing to let your light shine so you can teach others. You know what I'm saying? And glorify the Lord once again. Let's see what the light is though. Lord willing. Let's get on Proverbs 6. Proverbs 6 and 24, I think.
See, sometimes you gotta get nicer. Y'all brothers out here getting greater. Man, God, well, he already know. Getting greater. Dang, that's a nice down there, boy. You working shots? And you sure live. Hey, look, you get me? A little bit? I mean, a little bit. Let me go back over here. With my man, then you can recognize. I just mess around.
23 actually.
Boy, I ain't no one crap. I can't listen to this here.
Proverbs 6 and 24.
Throw the cigarettes away, but it's so hard on me.
Proverbs 6 and 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is a light, and reproofs of instructions are the way of life.
Right? So that's the light, elder. The commandment is a lamp, and the law is a light. You know what I'm saying?
Call that,
and
bro.
reproof of instruction, because that's what we doing. We out here to reproof. Reproof is simply me telling you to throw away that cigarette so you can prevent cancer from smoking it. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. Yeah, right.
Hey brother, you got 5 minutes? All praise, thank you. All praises. All praise to the Most High. Right? But yeah,
Is y'all Muslims? I don't know.
We ain't no Muslim, elder.
Well,
We on the Israel, like I was explaining to you, we the Israelites. We showing our
is
people
that
that. Hey brother, you got 5 minutes?
different kind of religion?
We out here showing our people who the Israelites in these last days, brother. We gotta wake up and repent. You said you might stop by? All praises, bro. We'll be right here, Lord willing. How you doing? How you doing? Excuse me, I ain't mean to. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
you
We out here for all of them.
Leave.
How you doing, brother? Hey, brother. Got 5 minutes in the red little wrap. Lord willing. All praise. We out here showing our people we the Israelites. We gotta wake up and repent in these last days, brother, or else be destroyed in America. Because America ain't gonna last much longer. Right?
Yeah, that's
People thinking that this land gonna last.
Yo,
Man.
come stand right here.
Alright.
Come stand right here.
Alright.
Doing too much. Come stand right here, man.
Ecclesiastes 5 and 1.
Hey, look. Y'all doing a beautiful thing.
What's the light? What's the light we just showed you, Elder? What's the light that the Most High calls you to hearken to?
To be good, don't do wrong.
Still saying that.
I mean, if you don't do wrong, you're going to see the light.
The Lord just said, don't lean on your own understanding, Elder. In Proverbs 3.
No, I've been knew that. He been don't say that you don't do wrong. Go ahead, say something.
Ecclesiastes 5:1. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil.
See that, elder? You gotta be more. You gotta keep your foot, man. You gotta be ready to listen to what brothers they gotta say to you. The scriptures say to be ready to listen to every godly discourse, man. Like you gotta actually don't give a sacrifice to fools, man.
Right.
Like that the fools get it. Because fools hate knowledge according to the scriptures, man.
All that is it don't do wrong, right?
That's right. The message is to not do wrong, but we teaching you what good is according to the Bible. Good is keeping the commandments in the eyes of the Lord. The Lord ain't no Exodus 15:3. The Lord is not just don't do good. I mean do good. Go give him a kiss and a lollipop and a hug.
No, but don't do wrong.
Don't do wrong, but go ahead and give him a kiss and a lollipop and a hug. Even if he's white, even if he's Asian, even if he's an Arab, go ahead and do that.
Doing nothing wrong.
That's not what the Lord said. The Lord says to keep his commandments. It ain't about what you feel is wrong and right.
I know you're right.
It's about what the Lord says, man.
I know you're right.
Right?
Exodus 15:3. Right. The Lord is a man of war.
The Lord is what?
A man of war.
Right.
The Lord is his name.
The Lord is a man of war, elder. The Lord is somebody that's gonna come here and destroy this place. The Lord is somebody that's getting men built up spiritually to be able to fight for him when the time comes for war, man. The Lord is gonna actually have that ready for the spiritual fight, getting the spiritual stuff built up for it so it can be carnal as well, elder. The Lord ain't no joke. The Lord creates. Get that in Isaiah 45:7. The Lord is not no joke. The Lord forms the good, he creates the evil. He lets you know what is good and what's bad, like you keep saying. What I'm trying to explain, how y'all doing? Y'all got 5 minutes? All praise. We letting our people know if you identify as being black or African American, that we would actually be the Israelites according to the Bible. Y'all look into that, all right? Y'all be safe. All praise the Most High, right? Yeah, elder, we out here. We got to be out here to let you know what's going on, man. Because if we don't do that, then nobody else will, man.
Thank you.
Isaiah 45:7.
Bring it up.
I form the light and create darkness.
Right.
I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things.
Right. And that's spiritual, man, because the Lord said he formed the light. And we just was going over explaining to you what the light is. The Lord formed the light, which is us keeping the commandments. The Lord breathed the breath of life into man, which is, what is that breath? The life, which is the commandments. You know what I'm saying? Get John 6:63. Because you got to understand, elder, that is what's good in the eyes of the Lord, is keeping his commandments. We're not out here to tell you nothing else, because like we just explained, the Most High calls you to be a special people according to Leviticus chapter 7 and 1 Peter 2. He called us to be a peculiar people separate from everybody else, and what makes us separate is us keeping the commandments. And regardless if we like it or not, we got to come back to keeping them, elder. You know what I'm saying? Before we be destroyed. Because he said he formed the light and created darkness, and he's made peace and he creates evil. The Lord is evil. He could be evil to you if you're not listening to him. Because the scriptures say, believe it or not, in the New Testament and the Old, that the wages of sin is death. So if you don't come back to keeping the Lord, the Most High keeping the commandments of the Lord, the Most High can strike you down right now, or any time going forward. You know what I'm saying? Especially you being an elder, you know what I'm saying? You got time here of existence, Lord willing. So you could repent in these last days, man. The Most High consider, and Lord willing, you can get the kingdom, Lord, along with brothers and sisters, man.
The book of John, chapter 6 and verse 63.
Bring it out.
It is the spirit that quickeneth,
right?
The flesh profiteth nothing.
Right.
The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
Right. So the words, these words that's coming out of this Bible, man, that's the spirit. That's the spirit of God. His laws is what gives you spirit, and his laws is what gives you life. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we out here to show you and our people out here. So you know what I'm saying? So now we know that the law is the light. The law is the light, right? So now what do you have to do now in order for us to come out of this this situation that we mentioned of the curses in Deuteronomy 28? What do we have to do to break the curses? Now that we know what the light is and what is good to the eyes of the Lord, what do we have to do as Israelites?
I would think there's nothing wrong.
And what is
no, I'd like for you to keep teaching me. See, I can't, you're learning me. I might ain't know it. See, all you're saying, I might ain't know it now.
Right.
Don't look at the grade. So what? It seems like I don't know.
Right.
So I'm gonna listen, and it's so good, and I believe in it.
Right.
And I.
All right. So, with that being said, I'm gonna just let you know.
Let me know.
You gotta come back keeping the commandments, like I've been saying.
That's right.
So, that being said, I want to get a couple of commandments for you. And that's what we out here teaching our people and showing our people.
That's a good thing.
Whether you listen or not, I'm still gonna bring it out to you. You know what I'm saying? Because you up here listening. So let's get the Sabbath day.
So it's good to have that commandment when you're speaking to the Lord.
All praises, yes.
See, that
you have to have that.
I'm learning now.
You
Come
can't,
on
you
now.
can't call on the Lord if you ain't doing what He's saying, because He not here. The Most High don't hear the prayers of sinners. You know what I'm saying? So you got like you said, it's good to have the keeping the commandments when you call upon the Lord. You don't want to call upon the Lord empty-handed, knowing you ain't keeping no commandments. Because the commandments is what's going to have you be able to get the
What's the good
kingdom.
Commandments to keep up on?
What's the good ones? Who's about to get them for you? Who's about to get some?
Ah,
This is the Sabbath day right here. Because technically today is it's about to close out. But Sabbath day starts Friday, Sunday, Saturday, sundown. When it's a sunset, it's a new day. You read that in Genesis chapter 1. You know what I'm saying? So let's get what the Sabbath day is and how to keep it.
The book of Exodus, chapter 31 and verse 15.
Bring it up.
6 days may work be done,
Salaki.
but in the seventh,
Hey, brother, y'all got 5 minutes? We out here showing our people who we are according to the Bible. Just like 3 minutes, 5 minutes. It's a very important message in these last days. You know what I'm saying? To hear and to consider. You said what? Just give us like 3 minutes. We'll bring out a couple scriptures for you. That's all. But if not, we got flyer. You can take a flyer from us real quick. We got our YouTube channel up there. You can check out what we talking about. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, good. Hey, look. I get the flyer. Yeah, good.
All praise to the Most High. That brother flyer, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, we just out here showing our people that if we identify as being black or Hispanic or African or Native American, that those wouldn't be our God-given nationalities or ethnicities. We would actually be Israelites according to the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So it's high time we got to wake up out of sleep and not just continue to dwell on the names and be okay with what we've been named by our oppressors. You know what I'm saying? Because our oppressors gave us these terms that we call ourselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? African American, if you identify as that was made by Jesse Jackson in 1985. It don't make sense to have a relative that's older than 1985. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Stuff like that just don't make sense. So it's high time we gotta consider what's really going on
Absolutely.
before it's too late. You know, so
Agreed.
we got the flyer. You know,
Yes,
really
sir.
gotta check it out, man. That's our YouTube channel. It would be appreciative if you can subscribe to it. You know?
Okay. Just scan the QR code. Okay, I appreciate
All
it.
praise to the Most
Yes,
High.
ma'am. Okay.
Shalom,
thank you.
King.
Yes,
Y'all
sir.
will be
All right.
Israelites. Hey, look.
Praise.
I got to go.
You gotta go.
Man, hey, look.
You sure? You sure you gotta go?
No, I don't. I'm not sure. I ain't doing listening. It's just nice. But it's
James
nice
1:8.
to learn
James
it. Good God Almighty. Then I can't even talk like this. Man, I was at well, you know, I forget.
the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Right. What did it say after that?
Verse 9. Let the brother of low degree rejoice
Right.
in that he is exalted.
Right. See that, man? I gotta hearken to the Lord, man, because I'm a brother of low degree, man. I gotta hearken unto the Lord, or else. So I can continue to Lord willing, continue to rejoice in coming out here having the Spirit to speak with my people and let them know who they are, man.
The book of Mark, chapter 1, verse number 15.
Bring it up.
And say, the time is fulfilled, and the kingdom of God is at hand. Repent ye and believe in the gospel.